Have you ever wished you could avoid tedious phone calls like calling customer service, for instance? Well, Simple AI now does that for you. But is this an advancement? Is it a boon or is it a bane? This video is brought to you by Brain.fm. It's focus music. I love it. It's linked below. We'll talk more about it later. So Simple AI is an app. It's new. It uses AI to autonomously handle phone calls from things like scheduling appointments to customer service inquiries. The whole point is that it saves you time. It reduces things like human error. It offers convenience. It could potentially transform how you handle your daily communications. A lot of people are excited about this. I'm thinking of one person in particular who is just over the moon about this. They're using it constantly all the time. And partly I get it. I've had several phone calls recently with companies that I've had to deal with. And it's like one time recently, like a week ago, it was like a 45-minute call that should have been like a 5-minute call. And it was just like ridiculous. And I would love to offload that probably to AI, right? But at the same time, I don't really like the future that this heads towards in some ways, because let's say somebody is AI calling me. Like, I don't want to be stuck talking to a robot on behalf of something, really. You know, I'd rather talk to a real human about most things. So I've seen some people just say it's amazing. No more waiting on hold for customer service. That seems to be the killer feature, customer service stuff. Other people are like, it makes me uneasy thinking that AI is handling my personal calls. There's things like privacy concerns. I want to point out too, though, that OpenAI just came out with Operator, which is like their first stab at an agent sort of a thing where you can give it a task and it will browse the web, has web access, and you can give it credentials to different websites and it can log in and do stuff, take actions. And so we're going to live in a world where this sort of stuff is happening very rapidly and all the time. We're going to be saturated with it. And this is just like another aspect of that, right? But this has to do with phone calls instead of just browsing the web and taking sort of web actions. And on the one hand, especially as an entrepreneur, it's like I could think of so many uses where I could put this together. I know some people are trying to do this for sales calls or whatever. And I also kind of don't like that, even though it's tempting to be like, yeah, automate my sales and make a bunch of money. It's just like, it seems like an uncool thing to do, kind of. You know what I mean? Also, I've seen a more balanced take where people are saying, you know, this sort of tech can be really useful for mundane tasks. It can free you up for more important activities, especially with the power to make multiple calls at the same time. That's pretty crazy. It's kind of mind-blowing. I've seen other people who are like, well, I have social anxiety or whatever, and this is going to be helpful for me. And I get all that, but I also see the people complaining about, what about losing the personal touch? And that really resonates with me. As I'm putting together this AI course, which is basically done now. It is done. You can order it and it's ready to go right now. It's linked up down below. One of the things I've been thinking about is not just how do humans survive and thrive in the future, but how does humanity survive and thrive? And there's so many aspects of AI that isolates people from other people. And one of the futures that we talk about pretty in depth in the course is, you know, these personalized bubbles that people are going to inhabit. It's like, we'll all share the same, you know, base reality, but we're all going to be in different universes. And this is the kind of tech that sort of enables that, right? It starts like this and it ends with everyone in their own virtual world, basically. It's interesting because according to Pew, 64% of Americans find phone calls really stressful, and tech like this could significantly alleviate that stress. That's true. And I could see actually on the business side, if you had a system like this for when people called in, it may actually even be better. I think at some point, and maybe is even right now, I haven't really even tried this, than talking to certain people that you get when you call the customer service. Like, you know, you've had those people that are like rude or they don't care. They don't know what you're talking about. They're just kind of like wasting your time. I called someone the other day and I heard them like clicking around in the background for like 5 minutes, it felt like, before they actually picked up. And you can't hang up, right? Because you've already been on hold forever and it's going to be like wasted time just to get back to that point. So like, man, I don't know. What's your take on this? Are you excited about it? Are you going to use it? You just heard about it. Are you downloading it right now? Or you're like, no, let's pump the brakes a little bit. I want to know what you think. Now, very quickly, let me mention our sponsor, Brain.fm. Focus Music. It's perfect for deep work, being creative, learning. It can help you focus in as little as 5 minutes, and it's science-backed. As you can see here, it actually does produce real results. People love it. I love it. I use it all the time. So you should definitely grab your 30-day free trial using the link down in the description. You can go to brain.fm/dailytech, daily TEKK. That's brain.fm/dailytekk.